Gents, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay. Now, within today's video, I wanted to discuss the state of modern men and some of the mistakes that I think a lot of guys are making, and some of the decisions, the wrong decisions that I think a lot of guys are making. Now look, it's not to say that there aren't good men. There's plenty of good men. Plenty of men that honor themselves every single day with the things that they do. But ever increasingly, we are moving into a world where men are driven by the materialistic. Men are driven by things and selfish outcomes. As a society as a whole, we don't seem to do things as men anymore for the right reasons. Everybody's seemingly chasing a metric, whether it's clout online, whether it's money, whether it's possessions, nice cars, whether it's status, being seen to be at a certain level. Regardless of whether you are indeed at that level, people want to be seen at that level. Guys want to be seen at that level. And I think this comes from a place of insecurity, a place of not really being confident in yourself, not really being at peace with the man that you are. So you need trophies. You need certain things to make you appear high status. Whereas look, even 50 or 60 years ago, men were different. Yes, there were men that chased status. Yes, there were men that chased things, but even those guys didn't sell their soul in the process. Even those guys didn't compromise their values and their morals to get what they wanted. Now, of course, some did, but for the most part, men had a code. They didn't try and get attention by any means necessary. They didn't try and cut corners, because there was this underlying code that things needed to be done the right way. And also things needed to be done for the right reasons. There's a lot of guys that want to be successful today, and that's wonderful. That's a good thing. It's better to have ambitions to have a nice life and do good things than it is to give up and just down tools and decide that this world's unfair and you're never going to get what you want, so why try anyway? I hate that mentality. And, you know, most of you guys listening to this will agree with that. It's not good to give up. It's always good to be ambitious, but what's behind your ambition? That's the question you want to be asking yourself, because men are supposed to protect and provide, and not in the terms, or not in the way rather, that you hear that today. A lot of these guys walk around talking about protect, provide. But it doesn't come from a good place. It comes from wanting control. It comes from wanting leverage over their future wife or their future family. It doesn't come from a genuine desire to protect and provide. It doesn't come from this genuine, heartfelt impulse to love and care about your family and your friends and the people that are important to you. It's all about status. And this didn't used to be a thing. This wasn't a thing. Of course, with some people are always an outlier to that, but generally across the board, men wanted to protect and provide because they loved their family and because they wanted to do the right thing. Not because they wanted to sit in a Ferrari and post it online and allow everyone to see how great they are, how rich they are. But here we are. We're in a world full of looks maxers and streamers that are just trying to get as much attention as possible. And it almost feels sometimes, not to be hopeless, I'm an optimist, but not to be hopeless, it feels like all the men, all the real men have gone quiet. Like we're just living in this world full of pretenders. Guys that, yes, have materially nice things and talk about being a man, but being a good man, being a man who leads his life with honor and cares for others. That's not about having nice things. It's not about materialism. And we've got lost. We've really got lost. It's about making the hard choices. It's about making the tough, difficult decisions. It's about sometimes making the unpopular decisions. But because you know it's right. Standing up for your principles, standing up for your family, even when it's really inconvenient. That is being a man. Being a man is showing up when you don't want to. Being a man is cancelling the plans that you have because somebody needs your help. Being a man is putting the interests of the people that you love and care about sometimes ahead of your own interests. That's what it's all about. And not because you want anything, not because you want to be seen in a certain light, not because you want the status that comes from that, not because you want the monetary rewards that come from that, but because you want to do the right thing. Now, this message is not to say, all right, okay, let's just take that and run with it. Let's not try and make money because money's evil. No. Let's not try and have nice things because good things are bad, right? No. Not what I'm saying. Go for nice things. Try and build yourself a nice life. But have good intentions behind it. Don't chase status. Don't chase approval from others. Don't set that as your main motivation because it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. Instead, try and be the best man you can. Try and be the best man you can be. Loyal, faithful, disciplined, respectful, consistent. And naturally, all of those things that these guys give so much weight to will be yours anyway. But you're not going to have the same character because you got those things through an entirely different approach, through an entirely different belief system. Being a man isn't about having a nice car. Being a man isn't about having multiple properties. Being a man isn't about necessarily your physique and your muscles, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I value all of those things. I think it's important to be aspirational as a man, to try and climb as high as you possibly can. But when you put your importance on monetary material things, you lose who you are. And if so many men do that, men lose who they are. And this is where we are. Guys that are just starving for money, attention, fame. And we've lost our way. It's sad, but we've lost our way. But this does provide an opportunity for a select group of guys who want to go against the grain, who want to do the right thing, not for any outcome, but because it's the right thing. Guys who want to carry themselves in the right way. Guys who don't want to fall down the clout and clickbait land and get into this attention-grabbing, get money at all costs mentality. There's an opportunity for those guys to stand up and lead, stand up and live their life in the right way. Yes, go and make money. Yes, go and get nice things, but do it with the right intention. Do it because you want to build something special. Do it because you want to provide for your future family. Not because you want to have leverage over them, but because you want them to have a nice life. You want them to have a nice thing. You don't want them to have to worry and struggle. But a lot of these guys are pretenders. They are pretenders, and they will be found out. Now, it's not to say they're bad people. It's not to say they're inherently bad. They're misguided. That's what they are. They're misguided. They've done impressive things in the world of business. And you know, some of these streamers that make a lot of money. It is impressive. But what they preach is not masculinity, not true masculinity. True masculinity is strength, courage, honor, respect, sacrifice. Sacrifice. And all of that through care, through genuine care, not because you want something, not because you're looking for a reward. And the funny thing is, when the reward is your main goal, you don't get rewarded. You have a tough time because your inner consciousness knows that what you're doing is wrong and why you're doing it is wrong. But actually, when you don't do things for a reward, and you do things because you genuinely care, because you genuinely want to be a good man and protect and provide for those people around you, you get rewarded. It's a strange thing, but it's almost as if we are meant to do what we do for selfless reasons. But a lot of guys have fallen down the wrong path. And maybe it's too late for some. But if you're a guy who thinks quite deeply, you're a guy who really values how he becomes successful, not just values that he wants to be successful, but how he becomes successful. This is something I put a lot of weight on. I don't want quick success. I don't want quick fame. I don't want quick anything. I want to do things the right way. And I assume if you're watching my channel for a long time and you're this far into a video, it's the same for you. There's an opportunity right now for guys like this to stand up and lead. For guys like this to take the baton from these materialistic influencers who do everything that they do for their own selfish motivations. And be an example to the young men growing up as to how things should be done, and more importantly, why they should be done. Because it's the right thing. Now, I'm not delusional. I'm not coping. I know we all have our own selfish motivations deep down. That's part of human nature. And there will always be guys who want certain things. And again, if what you've taken from this video is that I'm saying don't have a nice life, you've misunderstood me. Have a nice life, have nice things, but your motivations behind wanting those things should not be from a selfish perspective. It should be from the perspective that you want to give, that you want to serve, that you want to provide and care for your future family and your friends, the people that are important to you. Because anything other than that is not true masculinity. It's not. It's insincere to the core. Insincere to the core. And it'll never be enough if that's your motivation. You'll never truly be fulfilled if you're always chasing the status, always chasing the fame, always chasing other people's respect. They're not bad things to have, but they are terrible things to be motivated by, because it will corrupt you to your very core. And unfortunately, a lot of guys find out about this too late. And when you start behaving in a certain way and you continue that, the longer you continue that way, the harder it is to shake off. But I don't know, if you're watching this video and this has made you think in any way, ask yourself, why do you want the things that you want? Why do you want to do the things you want to do? Who for? This is where a man starts to discover who he really is. And I believe that a real good sign of a truly strong man A truly principled man is that everything he wants isn't for his own selfish reasons, but rather to do what's right, to protect, to provide, and to care for those that he cares about. Anyway, if this resonated with you, hit a like, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts down below. I'd be really interested to hear what you got to say. As always, thank you for your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one.